Hello everyone. As part of the team, we really wanted to share on how we got ideas off the ground, and I wanted to make this three-part video, having both worked on business ideas as well as my own ideas in artistic ventures, some things that I have learned, and hopefully it's useful to you in the longer term. One of the first things about having an idea is to really have a mechanism to gather them well as much as possible. So you can do different things, you can write them down, you can speak about it, think about it again in the shower. But the really important thing is to collect them as much as possible, and at this early stage try not to think too much about the practical implications of whether it could or could not work, whether you want for it to go commercially or you want to keep it as a pet project or a social project. So the really important thing really is to have these ideas, put them down somewhere, and then keep coming back to them if you have the luxury of time, because as you meet people, you go places, your ideas are being shaped as well. When it comes to artistic ventures, sometimes this can take a long periods of time. So dance performances that I've put together, concepts that I've worked on, music concepts, visual artistic things can take a long time for the final idea to formulate, because you could have an idea that you want to do this, but then for it to crystallize into something that you can put down on paper or in any other medium would take some time. So it's quite important to give yourself that space as well. The second thing is about when you crystallize the idea, it's important to also think about some of the longevity of your ideas. What do I mean by this? So if it's a business plan, you can write it out and then you own copyright over it the moment the idea is expressed. So you can then have that physical piece and then go out to see if you can make it commercially viable or not. Don't worry about the fact that someone else in your same community or when you read about things that they have come up with similar ideas, because that's the way the world is. You're always going to come up with something which someone else had thought about in the same time. Of course, you're not copying an idea, but if you have something similar that developed organically, it's important to look at it. And then it's important to look at, okay, what's the niche that I can bring in this? What's the difference that I can make? Which brings me to the third point, which is to survey as much as you would like to. So again, what do I mean by that? You can come up with an idea, come up with a business plan, come up with an art concept, and then put out a survey to people who you think would be your target audience, or if you feel a slightly more protective about it, to speak to people that you really trust, a community that you have, that you feel that you can put that idea out and they can give you really constructive comments about, without the worry that it might be replicated in the future or that the ideation process and the eventual realization of it will be impacted in some way. So you just need to find that community. You can put out a survey form, you can speak to people as and when you find the opportunity. So for example, when I began Eggbest UK, I had the technology but quite a clean blank slate to do the way I wanted it to go. So what I did was I spoke to lots of people about timing, about how things can be done, and then took it from there. So take the chances. If you have a prototype, there are plenty of mediums now where you can go and put them on and then see if they work. But I'll be covering that in part 2 of this video. If you liked and you enjoyed this, share it on with your friends if this is helpful. And speak to you soon again. Bye for now.